Have you ever noticed this? You get fired up. You make the perfect plan. You tell yourself, this time is different. This time I'm finishing it. Gym membership, new business idea, new skill, YouTube channel. That book you swore you'd finish. For a few days, you feel unstoppable. Then suddenly, you stop. No energy, no excitement, no explanation. And then that voice shows up. What's wrong with me? Why do I always quit? But what if I told you? You're not lazy. You're not undisciplined. And your brain has been playing a game you never noticed. Stay with me. Because once you understand this, you'll never think about motivation the same way again. Look, almost everyone has something unfinished sitting in their life right now. A goal, a dream, a project, something they once promised themselves they would complete. And most people believe the reason is simple. I'm lazy. But that's not true, because even highly successful people struggle to finish things. Why? Because this isn't about motivation. It's not about discipline. It's a hidden psychological pattern your brain keeps repeating without you realizing it. In this video, you'll discover why starting feels addictive, why your excitement disappears so fast, the hidden trap that keeps people stuck for years, and the one mindset shift that makes finishing feel easier than starting. Stay until the end, because the final insight might completely change the way you see yourself. Forever. Imagine this. It's Sunday night. You sit down and make a decision. Tomorrow, everything changes. You open your notes app, create the perfect schedule, watch 3 productivity videos, buy a new water bottle, maybe even order a notebook because somehow this one feels different. And suddenly, you feel unstoppable, focused, motivated, like success already started. Your future looks clear. You can almost see the version of yourself that finally has it all together. But then, Tuesday arrives. The excitement fades. Your plan stays untouched, and that same cycle begins again. Ever wonder why? Because your brain already collected the reward. Not from progress, from preparation. Your brain loves possibility. Planning feels safe. Starting feels exciting. But finishing requires repetition, boredom, patience. And your brain doesn't celebrate those immediately. That's why so many people become collectors of goals instead of finishers of goals. So here's the uncomfortable question. How many dreams are currently open in your mind, waiting for a version of you that never shows up? Think about that. Most people are waiting for a feeling. They tell themselves, when I feel motivated, I'll start. Sounds normal, but that idea quietly destroys more dreams than failure ever does, because motivation is emotional, and emotions change. Think about it. Do you brush your teeth only when you feel inspired? Do you show up to work only when excitement appears? Of course not. Yet somehow, when it comes to goals, people expect motivation to carry everything. Gym, need motivation. Studying, need motivation. Building something meaningful, need motivation. That's the trap. Successful people learn something different. They don't wait for energy. They create it, because action comes first. Then motivation follows. You don't wake up ready, you begin. And suddenly your brain says, okay, we're doing this. Momentum appears after movement. Not before, but wait, if motivation isn't the problem, then why do you still quit? This next reason hits deeper than most people realize. Let me tell you something that happens every single day. A guy decides to learn guitar. Day 1. He's excited, imagining himself playing songs, feeling confident, becoming great. Day 3, still motivated. Day 10, progress feels slow. Fingers hurt. Results are invisible. Day 15, he quits. And then he says, maybe music just isn't for me. But that wasn't the problem. The real problem. He expected results faster than reality works. And honestly, most of us do. We live in a world where everything shows up instantly. Food, messages, videos, entertainment, one click, done. But growth doesn't work like that. Growth is quiet, invisible, slow. At first, that's the painful part nobody tells you. Most people quit during the invisible stage, right before improvement becomes obvious. Imagine digging for treasure and stopping 1 inch before the gold. That's happening every day. And most people never even realize how close they actually were. Quick question. What if the reason you never finish isn't because you lack discipline, but because you keep giving your energy to new beginnings, new plans, new goals, new versions of yourself? And every new start feels exciting until it steals attention from what actually matters. Think about it. Maybe you don't need more motivation. Maybe you need fewer beginnings. Stay with me, because this changes everything. Here's something most people never realize. Sometimes you don't quit because the work is hard. You quit because finishing changes who you have to become. Think about it. Starting a YouTube channel, exciting, growing it? Now people can judge. Starting a business feels inspiring, running it? Now expectations become real. And that's where fear quietly appears. Because beginners get to imagine success. Finishers have to face reality, success, failure, feedback, responsibility. So here's a difficult question. What if you're not avoiding effort? What if you're avoiding being seen? Because unfinished goals give us an escape. If you never fully try, you never fully fail. And suddenly, those unfinished dreams stop being accidents. They become protection. Protection from disappointment. Protection from criticism. Protection from finding out what happens when excuses disappear. And that realization changes everything. Your brain does something strange. It doesn't easily forget unfinished things. Every unfinished goal quietly stays open in the background. That course you never completed. That book still sitting on your shelf. That business idea. That promise you made to yourself. None of them disappear. They sit there, taking attention, using mental space, creating guilt. And after a while, you don't feel lazy. You feel exhausted. So what do most people do? They start something new. Because new beginnings feel clean, fresh, hopeful. For a moment, it feels like a reset. But it isn't. It's another open loop. And the cycle repeats. Start, stop, start, quit, again and again. Until one day, you stop saying, I quit this project, and start saying, I'm the type of person who never finishes. That's where it becomes dangerous. Because once a belief becomes identity, your actions start proving it true. And breaking that cycle becomes harder than starting ever was. Here's something high performers understand that most people never hear. They don't chase perfect completion. They chase completed work, even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's not impressive, because they know something powerful. Finished beats perfect, every single time. But your brain wants conditions. Perfect plan, perfect timing, perfect mood, perfect energy. And while you wait, life keeps moving. So try this instead. Video not perfect? Upload it. Workout only 10 minutes? Do it. Writing feels messy? Keep writing. Because every finished task sends your brain a message. I'm someone who follows through. That creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates action, and repeated action slowly changes identity. That's how lives actually transform, not through one perfect moment, but through imperfect endings. But there's one final piece, and this one changes everything. Ready? Because this might be the thing nobody ever told you. The reason you don't finish isn't because you're weak. It's because you believe finishing happens in one big heroic moment. But that's not how it works. Finishing is smaller than that. It's hundreds of quiet moments where you make one simple decision. I continue. That's it. Not motivation, not talent, not some secret level of discipline. Continuation. People who achieve amazing things don't wake up inspired every day. They return. Again and again and again. Miss a day, return, lose momentum, return, feel discouraged, return. Because success isn't built by perfect consistency. It's built by refusing to make stopping permanent. The people you admire aren't people who never failed. They're people who kept coming back. And once you understand that, you stop chasing motivation and start building something much stronger. Trust in yourself. So remember this. You don't fail because you start too many things. Starting is easy. Anyone can feel excited for a day. The real challenge is showing up after the excitement disappears, because your brain naturally chases novelty more than consistency. But now you know the truth. Planning isn't progress. Motivation follows action. Slow progress is still progress. Perfection often hides fear, and finishing changes identity. Most importantly, you do not need to become a completely different person overnight. You only need to become the kind of person who comes back. After mistakes, after breaks, after losing momentum, after difficult days. Because confidence doesn't appear first. It's built. And sometimes, one finished project, one completed promise to yourself, becomes the moment you finally realize you were capable all along. If this video connected with you, take 2 seconds and hit the like button. Because if even one idea in this video made you think differently, that tells me you want more content like this. And subscribe for more videos about psychology, habits, mindset, and the hidden patterns that shape your life. But before you leave, I want you to do something. Go to the comments and type, "I will finish." Not for me, for yourself. Make it a decision, a reminder, a promise. Because maybe this isn't just another video you watched. Maybe this is the moment. You stop restarting your life every Monday and finally finish something that changes it. See you in the next video.